Hey guys, it's Tuesday afternoon. Gonna be back on the 51 Chevy today, but first, I had to pick my daughter up at school at noon today. She was done early, so I jumped in a square body and fire it up, and it's not charging. I mean, the gauge moved up just a little bit, so almost nothing. So anyway, pick her up, get back home, and I've been dealing with this off and on now for about 3 weeks a month. Sometimes it's charging, sometimes it's not. So, and I always seem to get it to charge by messing around with the negative cable. So we're between periods of heavy rain. Got a couple of hours of not rain. So figured, okay, I've been putting this off long enough. Fixing it today so I don't get stuck somewhere with a dead battery. So pop the hood, pull the negative post off, battery, clean up the post, clean up the connections. There's a lot of green crap, corrosion around where the wire was attached to the connector. Clean that all up. Did the positive post while I was there. Why not? So hook it all back up, jump in the truck, and start it up. Nothing. Gauge didn't move at all this time. So it's worse. So I get back under the hood and I'm taking a look. I'm following the wire up from the battery over to the alternator bracket where it's grounded, and there's 2 revolutions of electrical tape around the cable. Okay, what's under the tape? So I pull the tape off, and here's the cable. So I mean, it's barely attached. There's maybe half a dozen strands of copper holding it together, and if I was to wiggle it back and forth a few times, it would probably break right off. So changed out the cable, put a nice heavy copper cable on there with new connections and everything else. Tightened everything up, cleaned up the where the alternator bracket where it bolts, the cable bolts to. So I know I got a good ground now. So I jump in the truck, start it up. Yeah, sure enough, gauge comes right up. So, I'd never noticed that piece of tape there before. I've had the truck for over a year, just didn't notice. It's not like it's a big wad of tape or anything. It's black tape on a black cable. So, yeah. So if you are having trouble with a circuit or a wire and you notice a piece of tape on it, take the tape off. That's probably where the problem is. So anyway, so that's fixed. So yeah, I'm probably going to carry on with some buffing and stuff like that until my parts come in. I just got notification that something's on its way. I think it might be the transmission oil cooler. If so, we can get that on. And yeah, so I'm just going to play it by ear as stuff comes in. Still haven't got my transmission dipstick. I got a feeling I'm not getting it. I already put a horrible rating on Amazon, so things are moving a little bit. I've gotten contacted by Amazon and whatever. So eventually it'll get here, I guess. So yeah, so we might as well just get to it, and plenty to do. Okay, so I was actually box sanding on the box, then I heard a knock at the door, and my transmission dipstick came in. There was one minor problem with it. This fits in here like so, threads in. So it's a fairly small hole, and it narrows up, right at the end of this fitting. If you can see the hole on the inside. So what was happening is when you pull the dipstick out, go to put it back in, it was hitting this edge, and you'd have to screw around with it 10, 12 times to get it to go in there. So what I did was I took a drill bit and I just beveled this edge inward so there's not as much of a lip to catch on, and then I filed my dipstick to a point. So now put it in and tighten that up, but anyway, so the dipstick goes in, no problem. So yeah, that was it. Other than that, it's a nice little piece. So I like it, and you can get it in the truck. So as I said, I am block sanding the inside of the box right now to the top edge, and about 3/4, just over half anyway, of one side. And for the box, the inside of the box, I'm not going for laser straight here or anything. I want it to be smooth and straight enough. I mean, I want it to look good when it's painted. That's all. No ridges or real ugly spots. So it's going to take probably this one and at least another block sand on the inside, a couple more on the other side, or on the outside rather. And yeah, so I'm just going to carry on, finish up this, and because tomorrow it's supposed to be nice, so I can can take the truck and put it outside, and I can get this thing in primer again and ready for another round of sanding. So there you go. It's just miserable out there today. It's raining and windy and damp and cold and shitty and all those things. So yeah, it is what it is. All right, so I've done all the inside of the box except for this top rail here. What I'm using is a 120 grit, just pretty aggressive, but it's early on. This is only the second time I've blocked this. This side's not bad. The other side's quite a bit worse. This side over here, it was beat to hell. So anyway, this is what I use. These are sanding belts for a belt sander. They're in your carpentry department where woodworking stuff is. And I use those because they seem to last forever. They cut like crazy and they don't clog up like other sandpapers do. I think I've used 4 belts on the whole truck from the very beginning. So I've got, there's 2 different colors, but they're the same thing. They're 120 grit. This one's just a different color from a different company or a different store. So anyway, I just got this stretch of rail to do. The only reason I'm showing you this is I got several hours in sanding this thing already, and like 5-ish. So I figured I'd do one little piece here just to show you how long it takes. I mean, it's a painstaking, slow process. Again, I go this way and then I'll go this way in an X pattern. So, see the difference in how dark gray here and light gray here? This dark gray is just a light shot with a cheap spray bomb of dark gray primer, and it's just to indicate where my low spots are. So you see still dark gray here, that's a low spot, keep sanding. here where the primer is showing through, it's a high spot. Or putty showing through, I should say. And right here, if you happen to sand through to bare metal, stop sanding there. That's as low as it's going to get, so move on. Right, that's how long it takes to do that. So let me grab the camera. Excuse me. Anyhow, so yeah, you know, high spot, green putty showing through, high spot. Another one. This side is actually pretty good. Like I say, I went through to the metal here and here. You stop. Same as here. So yeah, so the inside of the box is done. We're good to go. You can see the difference. You know, there's a few high spots, but nothing crazy. Over here, there's some nasty ones. So especially on the top rail as well. So yeah, that's where I'm at. All right, so normally now I would blow the dust off this thing and then wipe it down with wax and grease remover, you know, get the fans going and spray it with primer. But I'm going to wait till tomorrow when it's nice out so I can take this outside and get it, you know, far enough away from the front of the garage so I don't get any overspray on it. And yeah, we'll get after it tomorrow, so no worries. It's a big job done though. You know, it's dirty work, and I like to take a break from it for a while. and I've been off of it for a while, so it's time to get back after it and get this thing painted. It'll be nice. It'll make a big difference to get the box done and on the truck too. So there we go. Yeah, I guess I'll get back on buffing some stuff. I installed the door handle. Woohoo! Big job. Nice brand new door handle. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just going to carry on with some buffing and stuff, I guess, and call it a day. Okay, so nice surprise to get that dipstick. I was sure it was lost forever, and I'd have to go through all the BS of getting a refund and finding another one. So, there was no notifications that it was coming or anything. So, whatever, it's here. So now that I have that, and my transmission cooler is coming in tomorrow, according to tracking. After I'm done spraying the box, I can bring the truck back in, get it up in the air a little bit, and get the dipstick in, drop the transmission oil pan, get my cooler in, lines hooked up and everything, block off the ones that are in the rad, and I do need to pick up a filter and gasket for the pan. One guy wrote in on the last video about the transmission, that if you change the oil, the transmission is going to go in a month, and that does happen. I've done some reading on it. What happens is the dirt that's in there on a poorly maintained transmission, mind you, it's been in there so long that it's actually keeping the parts working together. And if you change the tranny oil, you take away any of that dirt and everything out of the transmission, and apparently it starts to slip and stuff. But they also say that the transmission was probably on its way out anyway. So if you regularly maintain a transmission and change the oil every 50,000 or so, you should have no problems. Now this one had 68,000 kilometers on it, so that's about 45,000 miles. So it was due to be changed anyhow, and to be honest with you, I've already changed half of it anyway. But I put the torque converter in, I filled it up with fresh fluid. So, and it's not water that's in there. I think what I did was I put the dirt in there using that dirty old, what I use is an old chunk air hose, and with a funnel and another dirty old hose. I should have blown the hose out. So I think I inadvertently put the dirt in there by myself, because I have taken a look at it with my little short dipstick here, and it's red. So that's a good thing. So yeah, but I'm gonna change the filter and the fluid anyway. Like I said, it's half done already, so why not? And yeah, while the primer is setting up, I'll do all that stuff, and then I'm gonna have to go around and block sand it all over again, and hopefully we've got it fairly close. And then it's just the rear fenders, and paint the box and rear fenders, and everything is painted pretty much. Some little stuff, garnish moldings and what have you. But it's going to be nice to be able to get the truck in and out, especially on sunny days. Put it outside, keep all the grit and grime and gunk off of it. So there you go. So got a good bunch of new subscribers in the last little while. Thank you very much. And if you've seen this video and like the content, please subscribe. I'd truly appreciate it. And don't be shy, leave comments. I enjoy reading the comments, and like the page and hit the little bell and all those things. And if you're not doing anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.